I did it! It has been about 2 weeks since I got my tattoos done. I'm extremely happy with them. I love that I have them, and I love the meaning behind them. And I've already been able to share more with a few people just from having them. And it's really, I think, going to be a really good tool and a great icebreaker, I guess, because mental health is so important to me, as is my miscarriages, which I'll show you that one in a little bit. And if you've seen my blog or my other videos, you will have probably already seen or read my suicide story, but I figured I would do a shortened version here with having the tattoo done. So the whole reason I wanted to get it is because of how important it is to me, how at that point in time that God chose to fully reveal himself to me. So it wasn't just, it's the God that my parents serve, or it's the God of the Old Testament, I just brush it off. But at this point, he had shown himself and that he loved me and that he was listening. So the whole thing happened when I was, trying to adjust so I don't block the microphone. When I was 19, I was having a very deep round of depression, because it always goes in rounds. You feel like you're doing great for a while, and then here it goes. And this one, I was just done. I'm like, didn't have anybody to talk to. I couldn't rely on anybody, and boyfriend just broke up with me, which that wasn't the reason, but it was a contributing factor. And I was just done. So I got in my little old car, and at the time I lived in a small town in Oklahoma, so farmland, dirt roads, all that stuff. So went out on a dirt road and was driving extremely fast, in and out of the ditches, like, just flip over, like yelling, crying, the whole 9 yards. And obviously it didn't work. I didn't even scratch my car, and my car was like a cardboard box on wheels, and it should have flipped over very easily, but it didn't. So I get back to my dorm room, I pick up this Bible, same one, and I threw it on my bed. I think it hit the wall and bounced down. I don't really, that's how it plays in my head, but I don't know if that actually happened or if my head is just making some more dramatic effect. I don't know. But so I threw it and I yelled at God. I was like, if you don't show me something, I am done, and I am walking away from you forever. I was ready to just cut God out and say, see you later. I'm done trying to do this. And when it fell open to Psalm 116. And that one says, I love the Lord, for he heard my voice. He heard my cry for mercy. Because he turned his ear to me, I will call on him as long as I live. The cords of death entangled me. This is my favorite part. The anguish of the grave came over me. I was overcome by trouble and sorrow. Talk about relating to what you're going through. Then I called on the name of the Lord. O Lord, save me. The Lord is gracious and righteous. Our God is full of compassion. The Lord protects the simple-hearted. When I was in great need, he saved me. Dun dun. Be at rest once more, O my soul, for the Lord has been good to you. For you, O Lord, have delivered my soul from death, my eyes from tears, my feet from stumbling, that I may walk before the Lord in the land of the living. I believed, therefore I said, I am greatly afflicted. And in my dismay I said, all men are liars. And that's where I stopped reading because I started laughing because of the breakup and everything. And I was just like, yep, that one right there. I totally agree. And so I started laughing. And that's where I was just like, okay, Lord, I'm listening. And, you know, it didn't get rid of my depression. It didn't get rid of suicidal thoughts in the future. But it cemented what I needed from God. It cemented my beliefs. It cemented my knowledge of Him always being there. So that is the purpose for this tattoo on my wrist. If you notice, I do have, sorry, that's kind of hard. I do have the semicolon there because if you are familiar with the mental health movement, semicolon means it's not over. And it wasn't over for me. Funny thing, the tattoo artist didn't know what a semicolon was. I had to draw it out and then still instruct him on what it was supposed to look like. But it looks good and I'm really happy about it. So, my other tattoo is on my leg. Let's see if I can get it where it's not so shiny. But here's my little girl. And my colored balloons represent my children and my two boys and my stepdaughter. And then these gray balloons, black balloons, represent my miscarried babies. And this here with the entwined strings is for my twins that I lost. And this is just a representation of my children, you know. And like I went back and forth for years of trying to decide how I wanted it to look. Like I didn't know if I wanted like open flowers for my children and closed flowers for my miscarried babies, or you know, I went back and forth, and then the balloon idea came to me and I was like, that's what I want. And it's just another way to relate to people and to let women know that they're not alone. Like there are so many people that have miscarried, and it's painful. Like not only is it physically painful when it happens, but emotionally and mentally it's exhausting and it's hard because you question yourself. Like, I'm a woman, I'm supposed to be able to do this, and a lot of women can't. And we have to acknowledge that. We have to be open to discussing that, because when we know that we're not alone, it makes a huge impact. So those are my tattoos. I'm really happy with them. It did not hurt as bad as I thought it would. Like, it really wasn't bad. It took like 3.5 hours for both of them, and like it wasn't bad at all. Oh, I did also, if you can see it, do the Daith piercings. I did them on both sides. I've had those a little over 2 weeks. I have had minimal headaches. Like seriously, I went from having migraine strength headaches every single day to having like 2 or 3 since I've had them. Now I do still have TMJ, which causes some headaches and pains, but nothing like it was before, and I'm so happy with it. I am like over the moon. These take a really long time to fully heal, like a full year, but I'm okay with that. Like, I have really tiny ears, so I'm not even sure any other jewelry will fit in here, but I don't really care because it has helped immensely. So if you have headaches, I highly suggest the Daith piercings. It hurt, but not horribly. But I also have a pretty strong pain tolerance, so it might hurt more for you. But he did this side first, and that one hardly hurt at all. And this one did hurt quite a bit, but he had a little bit of a harder time doing this one. Okay, video's getting to like 10 minutes, so I'm gonna get off of here. I just want to encourage you guys, like, be willing to share. Be willing to love others by allowing them to know that they're not alone, and there are people that understand what they're going through. Have a good night.